All right. Okay. What's up? 2 lives before 8 a.m. First one I did this morning was at like, I don't even know, 4 o'clock, 4:20, I think, if I recall correctly. Okay. So I'm going to keep this one brief because I got a Zoom coming up. I get a lot of uh, comments on my video quality. Okay. I don't have my main light on, so I'm not worried about shadowing at the moment. But even this morning, I had a buddy of mine who's a 7-figure earner is like, dude, like, what are you shooting with? Like, what are you shooting with? Like, what is that? And I told him like the camera I'm shooting with, which like my setup is like, I don't know. I think the body of the camera is like 2,000. The lens is like $2,000. And you don't have to spend even close to that to produce better quality video. Like, for example, I mean, you can, one thing for sure, I'll just tell you that there's first of all, there's a video all-star jam happening tonight with like legends in the video, like people in entrepreneurs that produce video. Good morning, Neil. What's up? So I got invited to participate in this thing. Like everybody that's in this thing, like Ray Higdon, John Melton, Mike Hobbs, Eddie Villa, Adrian Hill, Kim Ward, Sarah Thompson, Yolanda Kennerly, Gwen Stasio, and myself and Mark Harbert. We're going to be going live tonight. I think it's at, let me just double check. And by the way, I can't put the link in here because it's just not going to, it's not going to happen. So it's in 10 hours from now. What is that? So that's 10 hours and 40. Hang on a second. I should have checked this. Hold on one second. Let me just double check. So it's at 6 p.m. Pacific time tonight. If you do video or want to do video, like I would come, like it's going to be like 10 of us talking about like our craft. It's going to be super cool. So I know I'm on YouTube, I'm on X, I'm on all these different platforms right now. And if you want to be there, you need to, there's a registration link. It's free. I'll put it in the comments or ask me for it. Cause if I post it, first of all, it's kind of a complicated link, so you're not going to get it, but I'll come back onto these platforms and post the link. So if you're interested in attending this thing tonight, I think it would be very beneficial because for me too, also, because I'm going to be able to hear from these different individuals, like what do they do and how do they do it? I think that it's funny because I do Zooms all the time and I'm always, and I don't mean me, but like I'm typically the best looking, not me, Todd, but like in terms of like the camera quality, definitely not the best looking, but the camera quality, the backdrop, even though it's a little bit messy right now with my journal right here and other stuff back there, but like the image quality is so huge. Like if you saw like my laptop is over here in the corner, if you saw like me do it, like the difference between the little teeny camera on the top of your laptop computer and a 4K camera is night and day. And if you're going to, in my opinion, if you're going to be producing anything on video, you should up the quality of it. And the cool thing is like with these things, like the quality of video you can produce, in fact, on any mobile phone is insane. My kid and his buddies just, and they were here. I didn't even know that they used my desk as part of their props, but they just made a movie. And I saw like the first half of the movie last night and the editing, his buddy Jan just did an amazing job with the editing. I'm like, wow. And it's like, it looks cinematic and it was produced on an iPhone. So you don't have to have the super expensive setup, a $400 mic, a $4,000 camera, whatever, and lens. But you can do things to significantly amplify and improve what you're doing. Like if you got like if you were to go to my YouTube channel, some of you guys are on my YouTube right now. If you go back and you look at my oldest videos, they're crap. Like they're not good. And at the time I was shooting on, what was it? A Canon GL2, which was like this big, like it was literally about this big. And it was shot on high 8. I think it was high 8, which is like a cassette that's about that big. And my framing was terrible. Like I look at like, if you see, this would be interesting because you can see my iteration of quality, poor quality to better quality. I'm not going to say it's exceptional because I've always got room for improvement, but like I was watching a video the other day and it was me when I was living up in Sammamish, Washington. And like if you go back to like 2000, I don't know, probably 2004, 5, 6, 7. That's the time frame. And you look at the videos that I'm doing where I'm at my desk. Sometimes there's a dude in the background working at a different workstation. That was my marketing guy, Lance. And it's a huge room. I had the biggest room in the house. But I looked at this video the other day, and I've got like a beanbag in the background, boxes, like stuff. Like almost looks like I'm a hoarder. Like I'm not a hoarder, but it looked like I'm on the verge of becoming a hoarder. So I look at that and I'm like, that's terrible. Like, and then I thought like I'd upgrade. And so I got like, I actually in that office, and there's probably some videos where you'll see that. Like if you see me sitting at my desk in that big office with like, it's probably like 40 feet that it goes back or more. And there's a green wall. Like I literally painted my entire back wall chroma key green, and I barely did any chroma key back then. And it was just like the tech with chroma key wasn't really good. And then I bought like, you get these like spring out, like they're so hard to put back together, by the way. They like, you twist them and then they pop out and they spring out into this big backdrop. So I've got a chroma key backdrop, and I've got this one that's like black and gray. And I started shooting on that and thinking, okay, well, it's cool. I got this background. But even that, I look at that and that's like terrible. Or I remember producing another video series where I've got a gray wall in the background, excuse me, and like the frame. Am I back on stage? Let me make sure I still got audio here, because something just happened. Hold on a second. Now you might be wondering, like, why is Todd down here? Let me just double check and make sure. Something just hit my keyboard. I hope I've got audio still. So then there's another one where I literally produced an entire training video series, and the framing is like this, like maybe my shoulders are up to here. And it's like, yeah. And I thought I was like pumping out professional video back then. And it was so bad. And so tonight, this video jam, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you guys can still hear me. I don't know what the heck just happened. Okay. Thanks, Neil. Thank you. This is just going to be awesome. It's kind of like, let me hold on real quick. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw this, but like one of these things and I think it was Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Louis C.K., who I know got canceled, and a couple of other comedians. Like these are all comedians that were like at the top of their game at the time. And they all went into, it was like talking laughs or talking. It was something around, basically what it was like 6 or 8 comedians in a room with different cameras in the room. And they were just talking about their craft, like how they do sets and how they come up with new jokes and how they, whatever, how, the times that they've bombed and how they recovered from a bomb, or, all these different things. And like somebody's going to know what it is, and you're going to tell me you've seen it probably. But it was so fascinating to me, because when you get people that can get that have like an expertise in something, and they all get together and they're just talking shop. There was no scripting of that. It wasn't like, they were just like, just imagine this. And I've actually talked with some people about doing this one of these days, where like you have like 10 network marketers that have been around the business for like, 25 plus years. And we're all just sitting around talking, hey, you remember One Source Worldwide Network? You remember FutureNet? What happened with that? What about that dude? And and one of these days I'm actually going to do it. It'll probably have to be like a bunch of us on a Zoom. Maybe that would be kind of fun. We have to be careful though, because there's like some of the stuff that might be said might be interesting. But that's really kind of what I see tonight being like. So if you want the link, I'll just make sure I come back. Excuse me, because it's like this long link. I'll come back to YouTube, Neil, for you. You're on my list, so you're probably going to I just sent out an email. I'll put it on Facebook, and hopefully Facebook doesn't delete it, because I like to delete links. But I'll put it in there, and then it's free to be there. It's going to be 2 hours, and I don't know. For me, it's going to be awesome because like half the people I know, half the people I don't know. But like there's, we all got room to learn. So I know I'm going to learn some stuff tonight. I know you'll learn some stuff tonight, and again, I mean, if you got no interest in video, then don't waste your 2 hours. But if you got interest in video, I think you'll find it fascinating. So again, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to go to all these different platforms real quick, put the link in there. And then I got to go do a walkthrough demo on this AI platform that I'm using. So, all right. And I'm going to never mind. I'll just leave it there. All right. 2 Zooms or 2 lives before 7:30 a.m. It's a good day. We'll see you.